Left. To your right. No, back left. Yeah, no. Just the tiniest bit.
Wait.
There. Don't move ever.
Instead of sharing about myself with, let's say, 5 fun tips for Friday introductions today, plot twist, I asked followers on @Natalie Franke to ask questions of me that I could answer and highlight them on the vlog. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Just a quick mid-vlog Q&A session right now.
Hey Natalie, what has been your favorite thing about moving to San Francisco so far?
Oh, favorite thing about San Francisco? I think, to be really honest, it's both one of my favorites and one of my least favorite things some days, but the weather. This sounds silly, but I love autumn. Autumn's always been a favorite season of mine on the East Coast, and out here in San Francisco, it feels like autumn almost every day.
What app do you use to do your calligraphy in?
So I use an app called Procreate, and it's on the iPad Pro. I know some really awesome iPad calligraphers, and Laura Hooper, who's an amazing modern calligrapher, recommended it. So I started using it, doodling with it, and to be honest, at first for me it was just a relaxing activity. And then I realized how much easier it was to almost take some of the crazy thoughts in my brain and throw them on the iPad.
What are some helpful tips you can offer for someone looking to start a community?
Ooh, looking to start a community. So here's the thing. Whenever you want to start a community, you have to understand the purpose of the community, because there are a couple key components, right, with any community. And this is from Seth Godin's book, Tribes. And the idea is basically to create a community, you need to connect people to an idea. So something greater than just the sum of its parts. For Rising Tide, that is community over competition, right? That is our purpose, that is our mission. So first, you need to have an idea. Then you need to be able to connect people to a leader. And I'm assuming in this case that you're the leader. So you need to be able to connect them to you so that they have a visionary, someone to look to, someone to guide them forward. And then the third component, which I believe is the most important, you need to connect them to one another. So that might mean using a social media platform like Instagram. That might mean having a forum or a Facebook group, whatever way you decide to connect your audience. In order for it to really be a community, your members have to be able to communicate to one another and to you and to contribute to the greater idea. And that's ultimately the fundamentals of a community.
As an entrepreneur, what's the biggest leap of faith you have ever taken, and how did you convince yourself to do it?
Okay, so I'd say there are two. The first was not to get a full-time job out of college. I had a lot of opportunity coming out of my school to work at any company that I wanted, and I refused. I wanted to prove that I could build a business. And that was very scary, not just to me, but it was scary to my family, right? It was scary to a lot of people that looked to a 9-to-5 job or a corporate job as security, as safety. And here I was saying, I want to throw it all away and I want to chase this crazy thing that I think could work. Now, what's really fascinating is that I'm also of the generation that was going into college at the start of the Great Recession. It was 2008 and everything was falling apart, right, in our economy. So it's something that I've noticed across the board, this side hustle economy, this freelance economy. We emerged because there wasn't a safe job waiting for us at the end of our educational track. Many of us maybe started our entrepreneurial journey out of necessity, not because we dreamt of this glamorous lifestyle that I think often now is portrayed on Instagram, right? But because maybe we actually needed to make money to survive, and for us, it required getting a skill or a craft. My dad said to me, and I'll never forget this, I was standing outside my dorm. My dad said to me, Natalie, get a trade, learn a trade, grow this photography thing that you're doing, because it's something that you can do with your hands. And it's something that no one can take away from you. And so if you can take pictures, there's always going to be a way that you can strategically work that into a job or a career or offer value to someone somewhere. And I think it's really valuable. You know, my great-grandfather was a stonemason right on the Magothy River. And, you know, that has also been just something that I always go back to and think about. You know, being able to do something with your hands is something of value. So not just to be an entrepreneur, but to be a creative entrepreneur that brings a creative skill set to the table. So that's one of the biggest leaps of faith, not getting that job. Next biggest leap of faith, honestly, I would say is going full-time with Rising Tide. I had a highly successful wedding photography business doing over 6 figures every year, and I loved that full-time work. I absolutely loved it. So I didn't take the leap into leading Rising Tide because that wasn't working or because I didn't love it, which made it very scary. Again, I had something comfortable, I was comfortable, and I was facing this dilemma of whether to stay in what I knew was comfortable or to take a leap of faith and pursue something that lit my heart on fire, something I was passionate about, something I saw making an impact and that I felt like there was a real need for in the world. And so going full-time with Rising Tide, moving out here to San Francisco, getting more involved in the tech scene, those have all been things that were very scary and huge risks. I think that the key here in all of it is knowing your passion and your purpose and where they collide. And if you can figure out how to take what you're passionate about, how to take what your purpose is, and fuel that into something that can financially support you in some way, as an entrepreneur, that's magic, that's gold. It's not gonna work for everybody, and it's not the right answer for everyone, and I know that. But when you can find a way to make that your reality, it's very, very fulfilling.
What is your favorite way to relax?
Oh, my favorite way to relax. So, a couple things. I love to read. I'm a huge book nerd, so I'm constantly reading, but I also love Audible and I love podcasts. So I will listen to podcasts and just take a break from the world. I'm an introvert, if you can't catch that by the book reading and the podcast listening to. None of those activities involve other people. We were in the office and it's work from home Thursday, so most of the team works from home, but we're here, and so Kent couldn't stand it. He's such an extrovert, and I was like, this is my dream. It's quiet, there's no one distracting me, I can get twice as much work done. So for me, relaxing, it just involves quiet time and rest, meditation, prayer, journaling. All of those things are really important to me, and just kind of making space for it. You know, I don't have a lot of time to spare. We talk about work-life balance, and something we fail to talk about is the ratio of work to life and where the balance lies. And I think that there's this myth out there that you need to carve out lots of time for the balance. And I really believe that something that I found in my own life is it's not about the quantity of that balance time, that rest, it's about the quality and the intentionality, and it's also about the work being something that actually lights your heart on fire. If at the end of the day you come home from your job and you're crying, you're defeated, you're devastated, that's very different than if you come home from your job and you're like, I crushed it today. I did exactly what I wanted. I fulfilled my purpose. I feel very passionate about the work that I'm doing. Now I need to rest. Those are two very different lifestyles. And so sometimes I think people operating from a lifestyle where work is very much the downfall, or it pulls from their spirit and their soul, they're going to have a very different ratio necessary in order to be fulfilled and be healthy than if your work is a part of something that fuels you. And quite frankly, I think life is way too short to not have work that fuels you and pushes you forward and is something you're passionate to wake up every single morning and pursue.
Being Frank wants to know, what is your spirit animal?
That's my little sister. Being Frank, Caroline Frank, my little sister, wants to know what my spirit animal is, and that is a very good question. I don't know. I actually don't know. But isn't that funny? That's the one I blank on.
Pick something.
Just pick an animal, any animal?
I mean, I know what mine is. Do you not know what yours is, really?
Yours is what you say, an aardvark?
Yeah, it's an aardvark.
How did I know that?
Yeah,
Ken's is an aardvark.
Because they're cold as ice.
No, I'm not a unicorn, although I love inflatable unicorns. I was gonna say a dolphin. They go fast through the water. They're very, chatty, and they're friendly. And they save humans. But I think I'm a dolphin, because they make waves.
If you could only watch one TV show ever again, but on repeat as many times as you wanted, what would it be?
Okay, you ready for this? Y'all are gonna make fun of me for the rest of my life. You really are. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Okay, bear with me. Kent he's walking out of the room. He's actually leaving. He's leaving. No, this is why, okay? I was too young to actually watch Buffy when it was on television. I just missed it by a couple years. However, when Netflix came out and added Buffy, I think it was Netflix or Hulu. I think it was Netflix. They added Buffy. It was the season that I had 39 weddings, and I edited all day long. And so I would put Buffy the Vampire Slayer up on one screen, and I'd be editing on the other screen. And you can just watch that show from start to finish, and it is always an adventure. Plus, it's not going to cause you any anxiety or stress like all the other shows I watch now. So if I had to watch it for the rest of my life, it's still, empowering. There's a amazing female protagonist who's kicking butt constantly, right? But it's also a lot about friendship and loyalty, and I'm a fan. It's just the truth. I'm a fan. Yeah. We good?
We're good.
We good? Okay, cool. Gotta go to another meeting.